Okay, lesson 13. Actually, you can ignore that date. Okay, we're going to talk about solving systems of equations. Now, you can slow this down and pause it and, keep up with me by you writing these notes also. So we have these two equations, and we can take this one, since it's already solved for x, and sub it in right here. When we do that, we get 3 times y plus 5 plus 2y equals 5. So in solving this, we're going to do distributive property. We're going to add our like terms, then subtract our 15 from both sides. That isolates our y, and then we would divide both sides by 5. Now, I have y, but I have to get x. So I could go back to this first one and plug in -2 for y and get my x. My answer is a point, so that's why it's written like this with the parentheses, because these are equations of lines. And if you're talking about solving equations of lines, you're finding where they intersect. So they intersect at a point. So I've made a note right there for you. Okay, let's look at another example. And again, you can pause it, to write your notes, okay? This one has not been solved for x or y, so I solve it first, and I just solve for x. You could have solved for y, it doesn't matter. And then I took this and plugged it in for x in this equation, so it ended up being right here. Did distributive property. You need to add your two like terms. Then I subtracted 100 from both sides to isolate the y term, and then of course divide by 5, and I get y again. Now I'm going to plug it back into this equation here to get my x. And again, I write my answer as a coordinate, as a point. Okay, area of isosceles triangles. So we know that the formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. We also know that in an isosceles triangle, that the height is going to cut the base of the triangle in half, because this is an altitude. You learned that in geometry. So if this was 3, I would know that this part of the base of this right-hand side right triangle is 1.5. So that would allow me to use Pythagorean theorem, because now I have this right triangle right here. I have this side and I have the hypotenuse, and I can find this side, which is the height of my triangle. So using Pythagorean theorem, h squared plus 1.5 squared equals 6 squared, and just solving that out. And listen, I didn't change that to a decimal, I just left it like that because it's not part of my final answer. And it's easier for me just to leave it like that. So I take that, and when I plug it into my equation, I just plug it in as the square root of 33.75. The base of the whole triangle was 3, and then it's 1/2 times that. Just put that in your calculator, and then round it, of course, to 2 decimal places. And hopefully that'll help you with these.